Welcome everyone. We're taking this very unique form of transportation across Manhattan to a little island that's tucked in the East River between Manhattan and Queens. It's Roosevelt Island, and we're taking the tram over there. This is also called gondolas, sky gondolas in other places, or skyways as well as another name for it in other cities. Here we just call it the tram. So let's take the tram all the way to Roosevelt Island. I'm Ariel, you're watching Urbanist. Let's hop inside.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please keep your mask over your face at all times during this ride. Do not take your mask off. Thank you.
Hello, Panos. Hello, Sally. Hello, everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. We're passing right above the city in Roosevelt Island. Well, right above Manhattan, and we're heading to Roosevelt Island.
Look up too. Look up. Yeah.
Hello, Gwen. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, David. Melody. Hey, Mary and James. Welcome to New York City. We're passing right by the Queensboro Bridge. So here we see it right underneath us. I never get tired of this view. It's just so amazing. And right there, we're starting to see Roosevelt Island, which is the area we're going to walk through, right between Queens, the borough, one of the 5 boroughs of New York, and Manhattan, another one of the 5 boroughs of New York.
A little anxiety. That's all right. You good. I was going to call this peak angle. I'm not really good. That's what's really good.
Watch your stuff. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
So this is the tram we just took across the East River. We passed right above the island, and now we are in Roosevelt Island. Welcome everyone, nice to see you here. I'm Ariel, and this is Urbanist. And today we're going to wander around Roosevelt Island. I've covered the history many times before, so if you want to see the history videos, you can go on Facebook and search Urbanist Roosevelt Island, and you'll see them there. Today I'll lightly touch upon some of the history, but we're going to just wander around to mostly the southern end of the island, because here's where there's the most amount of attractions or interesting things to see, such as the Four Freedoms Park. We're also going to see the ruins that are inside in the middle of New York City. It's a very strange, very creepy area. And let's see if we can go first to one of the oldest houses in Manhattan. So welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Roosevelt Island, RI. Not to be confused with Rhode Island. Ironically, Rhode Island is not an island. Does the monthly subway ticket cover the fare on the tram? Yes, I just used my Metro card, so it does. You don't need to like get another ticket or anything. You can just swipe with your Metro card. Unlimited works, also standard fare works as well. So here is where we're gonna walk through. And right now we are towards the center of the island. And we gotta get here first. So let's go to Blackwell House and then we'll trace back and go down here. Now, there's a lot of cool stuff in the northern part of the island. For that, you can check out my previous videos on Urbanist on Facebook. So let's go to Blackwell Island first. Now, people here are waiting for the tram, and the tram does run all around the island. Hello, Paula! I assume Darren is watching as well. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Here's the tram departing. Are there restaurants on the island? Yeah, I think there's 2 or 3. This is a neighborhood, so there should be 2 or 3 restaurants. Though I can't name you really anything I've been to aside from the Starbucks that's on the island. Now, down here also has a ferry connection, which you can ride to Astoria. And here's the tram coming. It's a great way of seeing the island quickly via the shuttle. Very easy way to see the island in its entirety. And this is the massive Queensboro Bridge, the iconic bridge mentioned in the book The Great Gatsby, also of course mentioned in the both film versions. Okay, thank you so much for the stars. MLK Memorial is here. Is there? I think I have seen it once before. Well, refresh my memory. Where is the Martin Luther King Memorial, Jacqueline? Hello, Cassandra. Nice to see you here. Hello, 4K Wanderer. Hello, Jose. Hello, Vasilios. Vasilios. We have a lot of people watching from Greece. I gotta start practicing my Greek. Vasilios. How do you say hello in Greek? Let me know. If I bump into a restaurant, I will point it out. MDW. Vaslav, Denise, Michael. Wow, haven't been on the tram for 30 years. Wow. It has changed a little bit. It's a little bit quicker than it used to be. Not as kind of scary as it used to be. Andrew, how much does it cost? $2.75. Same as the ferry, same as the New York City subway, same as the bus. You can use the same Metro card for the tram as you can with the subway/bus in New York. Giasu, is that how you say hello in Greek? Giasu. The girls from Connecticut, welcome. Nice to see you here. Cassandra, you ate breakfast today. Cool. Was it in New York City? So yeah, here we're bumping into a few restaurants. Granny Annie's Bar and Kitchen. Aloha, Lorraine. Pano, so that one's tricky because I can't read Greek, so don't know how to pronounce those letterings. But I appreciate you putting it in the comments. Yaosu. Thank you so much for tuning in. Philip from Zagreb, nice to see you here. So here we have a few restaurants. Actually, they're all kind of centered around this little. We have a Starbucks there, so if you need a quick cup of coffee, I think that is the only coffee shop here, though I could be wrong, if anyone knows of any coffee shop in Roosevelt Island. And there appears to be this bar where it seems to be centered around cider, maybe. And here's a pizzeria. They're closed. One is closed. This one seems open, the other one seems open. It's just they don't have outdoor seating. I think it's takeout only. There's also city bikes here. You'll see people riding city bikes. Hello, Susan. Welcome. Hello, Susu. This will be a really cool tour. We're wandering. I hope you enjoy it. Not that much history here. We just might lightly touch upon some history. And on these wanderings, I encourage all of you to kind of ditch the maps, ditch trying to find the directions, kind of just embrace the views as we're walking around. And I do historical tours, though I'm taking a little bit of a break today because I'm researching for Boston, which you're going to see next week. So stay tuned for more history next week in Boston. In the meantime, as we walk around Roosevelt Island, feel free to ask me anything about New York City or about Roosevelt Island specifically. Happy to answer all your questions. No one in the streets like a ghost town. Susu says no one in the streets, it's like a ghost town. It's fairly normal, Roosevelt Island. It's a very quiet neighborhood in the middle of two bustling neighborhoods. Midtown Manhattan, and we have Long Island City. Very bustling neighborhoods, and here tends to be quiet. It's fairly normal. Even though we have a pandemic, regardless, it would be normal during normal times. Sandra asks, looks kind of deserted. Is it my imagination? It's normal here to Roosevelt Island to be very quiet. It is a neighborhood, but it's always been a quiet neighborhood. I've never really seen Roosevelt Island popping, as they say here in New York City in America. Popping means it's vibrant. There's a playground. Though maybe if you come here during a weekend, which of course I'm here today on a Saturday, in the summertime you'll see a little bit more people. Maybe towards the area we're going to walk through a little bit later. But here is one of the oldest houses in all of New York City. This was owned by Manning, who took over on behalf of the British. What's the population, Andrew? I actually don't know. Great question. If anyone knows the population, let me know. Are the hospitals still open? Rocky, there should be one veterans hospital still open as far as I can recall. The other mental asylums are closed, though they have been refurbished to become condos. Nice glass frames. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So this is one of the oldest houses in New York City. Rocky says that the population of Roosevelt Island is 11,000. That sounds about right. And Roosevelt Island has gone through many, many different names. So, for just a quick primer, Captain Manning took over New Amsterdam and turned it into New York. However, the Dutch took it back, and briefly they renamed it to like New Orange. The British did not like that Manning lost this colony that was hard won by them. Or not even hard won, it was easily won because Peter Stuyvesant just basically gave the keys over to the British. He was the Governor General at the time. However, the British court decided to marshal him under the penalty of basically breaking his oath and failing. And thus his ceremonial sword was snapped in half right in front of him, and he was discharged, dishonorably discharged. And he decided to move over here to Roosevelt Island to live out the rest of his days in disgrace. This was temporarily renamed into Manning Island. And right now this is called the Blackwell House because he ended up getting married into the Blackwell family. It was part of the National Historic Register in 1972. And the Blackwells is the subsequent name. End up going from Manning Island to Blackwell Island, and the Blackwells held control until 1828. So let's take a closer look. And here it says, Roosevelt Island and the Blackwell House. 1639, cabins of the first Dutch settlers were here. 1668, home of the Sheriff John Manning, also known as Captain John Manning, first British resident. And 1676, inherited by Mary Manningham, who married Robert Blackwell Island and was farmed and quarried by their descendants. Blackwell Farmhouse was erected. Captain Manning lived here before this house was built. And Peter Cooper negotiated the purchase of the island right in 1828 for $32,000. And that's when the hospital started being built. And then in 1975, this was restored. It's open for visitation. Not right now. I actually never seen it open for visitation, but I think it has been at some point open for visitation. Che bello, yes. Joyce, I know there's a Starbucks here. Went there many years ago to view fireworks on the 4th of July. It's a little town and you have everything you need. Yeah, you're very smart to come here to see the fireworks. I assume it wasn't as full as other locations. So there's like an event here for kids. Now, there's a lot more to Roosevelt Island as we continue going north. Actually, we'll go a little bit more north. I'll show you a little bit more of the houses. And then we'll go back down. To drive over here or to walk over here, you would have to take the bridge that connects Astoria, Queens to Roosevelt Island. Otherwise, you will have to take the tram. You can also take the subway. The F train stops here, but not on weekends usually. So if you're coming here on the weekend, you have to take the tram. You can also take ferry, or you can swim. Though I would not recommend swimming because that seems very difficult, especially in the East River, where the tide is against your favor. Hello, Phi SP. Nina, never been. Must visit someday. Queens girl in Sevilla. Gracias por mirando. Yes, you must visit someday. It's beautiful. So here's the New York Public Library. It's built kind of like in the Brutalist style. Poured concrete. And there's very funky architecture here. And the reason it has funky architecture was because part of Roosevelt Island was developed in the 1900s as a grand utopian city, as a testing grounds for how to make a utopian city by the grand architect, one of the most famous architects in American history, Philip Johnson. He's most famous known for the glass house. Cassandra, I don't talk about current news or politics, so please keep clear of that in the comments. Though there are many, many other channels where you can talk about that are way better than this. So here we're starting to see this kind of funky futuristic in the context of 1960s architecture. So this is what the people in the 1960s envisioned the future to look like. You know, these kind of blocky houses, large window panes. They take the cable car here, yes. It's in the beginning of the video. And lots of action happening here. It's cool, very vibrant. There's a nice farmer's market and this gorgeous church. What is this? All right, let's check out the farmer's market. Wow. Roosevelt Island is nice and clean. Hello from Rockwell. Thank you so much for tuning in, Claire.
Anything else?
Everything looks so calm. It really does. Never been. Must visit someday. Yes, you must. Venato che bello. Benvenuti. So this is the farmers market. You'll find farmers markets all around the city. A lot of them tend to be mostly in Manhattan. And you can buy fresh bread. A lot of these things are local also, so they're making their stuff from local produce that comes from the Hudson Valley. So within 60 miles, generally. Simply D, I'm doing well. Welcome. How are you doing? Kevin. Good afternoon. Nice to see you here. Hello, Jose. You say it's a fruit market. Yes, it is. It's called farmers markets here in New York City. Most places in the U.S. call it farmers markets. Let's check out this church. Curious about it. Let's see what this church is all about. First time I really noticed it. Really cool design. Looks very English. I bet it's Episcopalian. It has to be Episcopalian. With that type of look. Looks as though you're in a European country. It does. This has a vibe as those new European cities that have like the new trendy parts, the parts where they used to be industrial and they've been kind of revitalized to be more residential. That's how it feels like. It feels like I'm going to the outskirts of Tallinn or even the outskirts of London as well. There's certain areas of London that have this type of look. I agree. Let me know if this reminds you of any European areas. So here we have a plaque. This is what I love about New York City. Usually there's plaques. And it says it's the Chapel of the Good Shepherd, a registered landmark building designed by Frederick Clark Withers. Oh, I have mentioned him before. If anyone remembers that name, I have mentioned him before recently in the past like 2 or 3 months. And was donated by the Episcopal Mission. I knew it was Episcopal. By George Bliss in 1889. Wow. So Episcopal Church here built by Frederick Withers. Looks like Rotterdam. Yeah, I've seen photos of Rotterdam. I know what you mean. I have a friend also who lives in Ulm, Germany, and there's parts that look a lot like this. It is an old church, yeah. Jose. Hello, Lynette from Virginia. Versus the Bad Shepherd says, yep, this is a good shepherd, not the bad shepherd. Watch out with the bad shepherd. There's a lot of seating around here. This is very quaint, very beautiful. Oh, I love this. Wow, look at this. Oh my God. A rose window. Gorgeous. This truly is a gorgeous church. Is it still in use? It appears to be. Though, because of the pandemic, the church is closed. Another thing is, Episcopal churches are not always open. They're not like Catholic churches. If you go to a Catholic church anywhere in the US, and this also applies to basically all of Europe, from my experience, is they always tend to be open. Doors are open, you can easily walk in, you can easily look around. Not so much with Episcopal churches and other Protestant churches. I haven't encountered quite the same openness. So right there. Roland, you lived in Roosevelt Island for 6 months. Oh, cool. Keep walking down the street. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking down the street. Let's check this out. I'm already liking this area. Hello, William. David, you're Lutheran and we don't. Yes. So Lutherans also don't. I've encountered this with, you see Dutch Reformed churches as well. You see evangelist and Baptist churches. I've also noticed they always tend to be closed until, they open up for Mass. Is there a Catholic church on the island? I don't know. Good question, Joyce. If anyone knows, let me know. Do you remember the horror movie with Jennifer Connelly where she lived on Roosevelt Island called Dark Water? Yes. Arnell mentions basically the only film I think that takes place in Roosevelt Island. I might be wrong. Let me know if there's another one. But check out Dark Water. It's a remake of a Japanese horror film, and it fully takes place in Roosevelt Island, and she stays in a very creepy apartment where it floods, even though she's very high up. So this place looks nice right over here. And this place looks nice. Yeah, so there are restaurants here in Roosevelt Island. Let's continue walking down. How expensive is this area? It's around the same price for like 1 bedroom, etc. as Manhattan. However, I think there is more square footage. So you might pay the same price for a 1 bedroom, but it's a bigger 1 bedroom, I think. And anyone can verify. The best way to check out that information, I'm not really an expert in real estate. Go to streeteasy.com. It's the best place. What do the banners say? I'll take a look as we get closer. Oh, I think there's a mosque here. It says Masjid al-Islafa. Forgive my Arabic. It says Roosevelt Island, a festival of colors. Lori, live feed? What happened? Lori, I am live. Yeah. Police precinct, yes. I hope you're waiting for me. Zolst, hello. Hello, B. Griffin. We're already on Roosevelt Island. Yep, we're walking right in the middle. There's a little bodega or convenience store. Conspiracy theory had scene shot here in the island, Jose. I know they did the climax scene on the Queensboro Bridge. That's interesting. Cool. Let's go inside here. This really sounds really interesting. So there is a neighborhood in London that's all in Brutalist architecture, which I toured. And this is reminding me a lot of that neighborhood because this is a neighborhood within a city purposely built from the ground up to be all-inclusive. You have your grocery store, you have your transportation, similar to what we talked about with the Garden City movement. The Garden City movement had everything kind of jumbled up together. So Garden City was built from the ground up to be a full self-sustaining city or like a mini city. Same thing with here, this kind of vision of Philip Johnson in the 1960s. And that neighborhood in London, if anyone can remind me of the name, I find the architecture to be sort of bland. It is, it's a bit, let me know what you think. I think it feels more like a school, it feels more like an office than beautiful apartments. That's the vibe I get looking at these buildings. The Barbican. Thank you so much, Sue. Sue says it's the Barbican. Yes, that was the neighborhood I was referring to. This is very similar vibes to the Barbican, in my opinion. Here's a sky bridge, concrete. So we have like kind of Brutalist flourishes here. It's boxy. Yeah, it feels like a college dorm. Yeah, in a way it does. And here's the backyards. Just a tiny little peek. And here we're on the Queens side. So college dorm. Looks Amish. Rosette. Amish don't use modern construction materials, I think. Oh, look at this. To me, it looks very utilitarian. I agree, Just Kate. Zol says it looks like a penal house, which means a jail. Yeah, in a way it does. A dorm for sure. Feels like an office complex rather than a neighborhood. Yeah, in a way it does, yeah. I think that was the idea in the 1960s, that they wanted to construct this kind of modern utopia, and to the designers that learned from people like Le Corbusier and Robert Moses continued that tradition as well, and Philip Johnson, of course. I think they envisioned a place where office and home kind of blend together. At least that's what it seems to me. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of water before we continue walking around. We're in Roosevelt Island, and beautiful views over here. Absolutely gorgeous views. Absolutely love it. Wow, it's amazing. And have you heard about the project to build a giant mandrake-shaped super tower? I haven't. I saw briefly a concept photo, but I haven't read the full story. Please let us know a little bit more about it. There's already a massive university that has built, so I would recommend checking out also Cornell's expansion. Have I toured any prisons before? I have not had the opportunity to go through any prisons. I was very close in covering one that was in Philadelphia, but I didn't manage to cover it. All right, let's continue walking. Will you have any advice for a newbie streamer? Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. What I would recommend is, it's a live stream, it's a conversation. I know sometimes some people have very large audiences, so you can't really converse with every individual. But even then, it's a conversation. Don't treat it as a lecture. Don't even treat it as a vlog. It can have vlog elements to it, but live video has to be a conversation. And as I mentioned to everyone here, this is not a history lecture. This is not journalism. And this is a wandering, so this is not a heavily researched tour today. We're just walking around. So do your own research afterwards. And anything I say is for the sake of conversation. I do have immense respect for history. And I think that's a great way to approach live streaming. Remember, it's a conversation. Don't take it too seriously, whatever you say out loud, because it's like conversing with a friend. Is a friend gonna, beat you down because you don't have sources? Is a friend gonna, rattle off at you because you said maybe one little thing incorrect? If you're hanging out with a friend like that, then, might reconsider hanging out with someone else. Same thing with a live stream. That's my view, at least. Let's continue walking around. Though, of course, I've seen live streams that are a little bit more structured. Check out a great live streamer in Paris called by the name of French Fry in Paris. Amy says, let's walk. Oh, yes, we're walking. These shoes were made for walking. So this is the bridge, the car/walk cycling bridge that you can take to Astoria, Queens. Amy says, keep me company while I house clean. Wow, a big jump in YouTube. 184. Oh, thank you, Bernal, for the update. It's yeah, it's mid 70s. It's very nice, cool, breezy, cloudy. So no sun bearing down at me as I'm walking through the offices of Roosevelt Island. Franklin says, "Congrats about your job." Oh, thank you. We're all friends here, exactly. Is it mandatory to use the mask? Not mandatory, mandated. Hence, you will not encounter legal repercussions outside if you're not wearing the mask. But it is mandated and heavily encouraged, and hence a lot of people are abiding by that encouragement and they're wearing masks. This is not a healthcare channel, so I won't discuss any health reasons or anything. I'm using it just because I feel like following the encouragement, the mandate followed by NYC. Here's the New York City ferry, Astoria. Goes to East 90th, Astoria, Roosevelt Island, continues down to, I think, Wall Street. Yeah, it continues to Wall Street. Nomadographer, welcome. Thank you so much for liking. So here we have people. Let's wave. Let's wave at the people. I think we have a few people waving. This ferry goes all the way to Wall Street. The East River is not really a river, it says simply D. Yes, simply D, you are correct. It's a tidal estuary. So think about this. This is the easiest way you can tell it's not a river. This way is towards the Long Island Sound. That way you're going towards the Long Island Sound. If you take the little Bronx River, you get to the Hudson River, right? This boat is now sailing according to the current, because this way is the New York Harbor. If this was a river that has an origin point in, say, the mountains or the Hudson River, then it would be flowing down this way. But for some reason, it's flowing down this way, north. It's not because it's the Nile, or it's not because we are in denial, but it's because this is a estuary of the ocean. Hello, Juliana. How much is the ferry? $2.75. Is that the big parking garage on my left? Yeah, it's a gigantic parking garage. Not so pleasant looking. Yeah, it connects to the bridge. Amy, you got me on my big screen. Oh, cool. Glad to be on big screen. So, parking garages, the bane of American existence. The thing that has cluttered our beautiful cities, or what used to be beautiful cities, are not filled with parking garages. In the UK, we call it straight. Yes, straight. This is going to be very boring if we continue going down this way. But here, we have, look at this. We have found a secret, everyone. A secret, so secret that no one knew about it. So, let's step up. I just did some parkour for all of you. I hope you enjoy it. Right here, the old trams, the old gondolas. Gondolas is what the term is used in other cities. Here we just call them sky trams or trams. And these are the old ones. So someone earlier mentioned that they took one 30 years ago. this is what you will have taken. B, is this an anarchist secret? In the way it is, but no satire for this video. So yeah, here's one of the old trams. It's so cool looking at them. Let's take a closer look. So cool. This is what I call urban exploration. Look at this, the tram. Do you know the old TV show The Prisoner? That is what Roosevelt Island reminds you of. No, I haven't heard of The Prisoner. I will check it out. That's so cool. Let me know why it reminds you of that. Now, this is the place to do some breakdancing or whacking. Yes, it is, says Bernal. Michael Scott, kind of parkour. So, speaking of parkour, this Roosevelt Island reminds me of the film District 13, a French parkour action film. If you don't know what parkour is, it's basically street running slash acrobatics. So people kind of run over street obstacles and go up buildings. Like, it's very crazy. You have to search videos on it or see the movie District 13. Oh, it seems like someone passed away here. This is so sad. Rest in peace. A lot of family seems to have come out for her. Her name was Vic. 9/22, September 22nd, 2019. Oh, so young. Only, what is that, 20, 21 years old? I wonder what happened to her. There's a beautiful mural behind her of a woman holding the world in her hands, and the cosmos is in her hair. R.I.P. Vic. May you rest in peace. So Brutalism has affected a lot of our architecture for car garages. And here we have the supermarket. And if anyone can let me know, if anyone has been to Roosevelt Island, what is this for? We've seen these columns everywhere with the red top. Let me know. It smells like gasoline here, so let me get away. Oh, another painting. Those homemade memorials are heartbreaking and fascinating at the same time. Yeah, I agree. There was a remake of District 13 with Paul Walker. Oh yeah, Darren, you're right. There was a remake of the film District 13. I didn't get to see it, though. I don't think there's that many talented or very famous parkour runners in America, or at least during the time when they filmed it. So the two actors that they used for the original French film were parkour artists and also actors. So I think it's hard to beat the French version, most likely. Is this a food town? No, this is called Tram. Oh, it is a food town. It is a food town, but their name is Tramway Supermarket. And here's more of the Brutalist style parking garage. Will remind you of the Barbican as well. Lots of stuff. We're in Brutalist style. My building is across from the garage. Oh, cool, Roland. Awesome. We're waving to you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have any recommendations in Roosevelt Island. Lori, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those are kiosks to post notices. Oh, thank you so much for letting us know, Ilana. There is a similar car garage in downtown New Haven called the Air Rights Garage. Interesting name. Why is it called Air Rights? Do they have air rights? B. Griffin. And Jose says it's just a pole. Jose, a pole is never just a pole. Some part of architecture is never just some part of architecture. Usually everything is intentional in some way or another. For example, these little things over here. They seem random, right? They seem like, oh, you know, they just want to be decorative. But A, this is not a sidewalk. This is a sidewalk. And B, they probably want to allow some dirt here in the middle. So it kind of is a nice transitioning point for the trees and for the bushes. That's my educated assumption. Imagine living here, first floor apartment. You get off your balcony, you can walk, and boom, here we have the beautiful Manhattan skyline. Roosevelt Island is really wide. I think it's because of my wide angle lens. I do it purposefully because I want to show you more of the space as we're walking around. I love wide angle perspective as well. Now, Roseanne has a great fun fact. She says that the island was called Minnehaha by the Lenape. Yep, they were. It was called Hog Island by the New Netherlanders. Yep. So Minnehaha has maybe one of two meanings. It meant either a long island, yeah, like Long Island, right next door, or it meant the island that was pleasant to be in. I like that second version. It's just an island that's nice to be in. That was the other potential meaning of Minnehaha. Island nice to be in. Yeah, I agree. Let me know if you agree with the Lenape. 4K says ultra wide is the best. Yeah, I really do love ultra wide. I don't like fisheye, but this is just before ultra wide. Dwayne says he's a fan of cinematography. Oh, I'm glad you like cinematography, Dwayne. Judith, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Salamo. Ooh, I don't know that language, but thank you so much for saying hello. Atari, I think that's a hello. Have you child? No, I don't have any children. Okay, so there's two ways we can walk here. And I don't have the time to do both, unfortunately, because I have to do another video. But do you guys want to go northward and see the lighthouse, or southward and see the ruins and FDR's park? So let me know. Ruins, lighthouse. The lighthouse is a dull brown. I'll just let you know. It's not some colorful lighthouse. It's like a dull brown lighthouse. So lighthouse or the ruins, which used to be the smallpox hospital. North or ruins? I can't do both. This island is very long. I can't do both today. I can only do one. We're getting a lot of south. We're getting a lot of ruins. We're getting a lighthouse. Lori says. Southward, I miss FDR Park when I went here in February. Ruins. North, south, lighthouse. The ruins of the lighthouse. No, there's no ruins of the lighthouse. Lighthouse is so tiny, not much to see. Ruins, please. Okay, everyone. I think a lot of people have spoken. We're getting lots of ruins. Watch my episode called Hidden History. I think it was episode 8. Hidden History, episode 8 on Facebook. And it was a series I did last year about cool history. And I go to the North Park. I'll put that link in the comments afterwards. Or if anyone could do that right now, both on YouTube and on Facebook, put that link in the comments so people can see it afterwards. But let's go to the ruins. Let's check them out. And I have a bee chasing me. Okay. Kevin, no, I'm not doing a live stream. I'm doing a recorded. I had to do some work. It's not Urbanist related. But stay tuned. Wednesday through Monday, I'm doing live streams on a daily basis in Boston and the nearby area. So.
Maybe she did a flip.
What is the red sculpture on top? Which one? Which one are you referring to, Darren? This is a power station in Beaux Arts style. Really cool. Really cool modern building. Look at that. The FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt Drive. And this is Roosevelt Island, named by the same Roosevelt. FDR was a very popular figure because he got us through World War II. Day or night, you sure get great views. Oh yeah, Dwayne, I love the views. It's one of my favorite things to find in cities. Ooh, what is this? Seems like to be a school. Yeah, PS and IS 217. And they have this weird sculpture. Interesting. What is that for? You mean the crane straight ahead? Oh yeah, I don't unfortunately know what the red sculpture is. Maybe it is a crane. If I see it, then I'll point it out. I'm from New York, yes. I'm also fascinated with history and how cities came to be in North America. Yeah. Oh. There's an abandoned little skateboard. Oh, what happened here? Who left this skateboard? Someone just left a perfectly good skateboard here and went off. And the family is missing. What's happening here? Huh. I think the oldest city in North America is Quebec City. The oldest city in North America is even older than Quebec. It's Mexico City, Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is not technically a city because it was kind of dead, abandoned for many centuries, but Mexico City is very, very old, much older than even Quebec, because the Aztecs were there and they were concurrently there until the Spanish came. Old San Juan also, which I visited last year on Urbanist, is also very old. It's the oldest city in the United States, dating back to the late 1400s, early 1500s. So St. Augustine is also very old. And yeah, Quebec City is old, but I think Quebec City doesn't date as far back as early 1500s. But I would love to show Quebec City. I know it's a very interesting city. I've been there before, way before I ever started Urbanist, and enjoyed it. Sarah, thank you so much for sending stars. I appreciate it. And Judith says Teotihuacan is beautiful. I can't wait to do a live stream in Teotihuacan. If no one knows what Teotihuacan is, it's the pyramids built by the Aztecs in the middle of a lake where they made an island and built these gigantic pyramids that are larger than the pyramids of Giza. And you can climb up to the top. It's kind of crazy. And they're also aligned with the solstice. El Viejo San Juan, dice Diana, Old San Juan, you love it. Yo también. I look forward to your trip and this coming week to Boston. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad, Lori. Simply D, I've seen Quebec City in videos and it's beautiful, it really is. Just Kate says they sound amazing, they do. Space is available. Ooh, if you want a restaurant with waterfront, here it is. This is where I could build one of the Urbanist cafes. It'll be kind of secretive. Not many people would know about it, and that makes it all special. So who wants an Urbanist cafe right over here? Urbanist orange cups. We'll make Urbanist style black and white cookies. They'll just be half orange, half white, or half chocolate. It was aliens that built the pyramids, says Cynthia. Cynthia, well, just wait till I go to Teotihuacan. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together, whether it was built by aliens or not. We'll make it an adventure. Teotihuacan is in Mexico. Yeah, close to Mexico City. Driving distance from Mexico City. Perfect spot for the cafe. I agree, Kay. So this is where we were earlier. We're just passing right by around the church. We're going in a circle. Urbanist heart-shaped bagels that are orange. Yes, that's a good idea, Donald. Right there. There's a church. So let's continue going down this way. There was a time that Roosevelt Island had a lot of lavatories in them. Really? I wish that was the case now. Not quite the case now, unfortunately. Let's zoom in on the city. My ancestors didn't come to North America until the year 1900 and after. Wow, Dwayne, wow, yeah. You need Urbanist cronuts too. Oh, yes. If somehow I can master a cronut, oh yeah. Sylvia, nice to see you here. It's cool seeing this more uptown view of Manhattan. It's cool seeing this, specifically this very Art Deco building that just has a FDR drive running right underneath it. I hope those are not apartments. They would suck if they are apartments, especially if you're in the lower floors. Is most of the housing rentals public housing? No. Jackie, great question. I know what you mean when you say public housing. It kind of has that style because public housing in New York was built from the same similar design philosophy of Le Corbusier. I'll talk a little bit more about Le Corbusier, but in essence, he was a architect who envisioned cities to be built in superblocks with a very uniform design, but not in the sense of like Paris. The uniform design would be more futuristic, meaning more kind of planar, more streamlined. Public housing followed that same design philosophy, which was mostly built by Robert Moses here in America. This was innovated partly by Philip Johnson, and he followed the same design philosophy, except instead of being affordable housing or low-income housing, this is middle-class housing or higher, usually middle class. I think it's still the case. Ooh, imagine having that balcony. Let's see across there. That's a cool balcony. There are many gelato stores in New York City. Yes, my top gelato recommendation is Lolino in Chelsea. I did make an entire video of it behind the scenes. Amazing chef. His name is Lorenzo, and check out that video. I think I read somewhere that the buildings are apartments where the FDR goes through, but maybe the bottom floors are commercial. Ooh, Simply D, thank you for letting us know. So, yep, maybe there are apartments. I bet the balcony costs $1 million all to itself, says B. Griffin. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it. What do you think the commute time is from the island to Manhattan? By the tram, it's only 5 minutes. And you have to walk to the tram, so whatever it takes you walking. So anywhere between 15 to 5 minutes. And then you got to take the subway from the tram. So it depends on where you're going to Manhattan. If you're going to Midtown Manhattan, you can easily take the F train during the weekdays and get there in 5 to 10 minutes in most places in Midtown. Hence, it's a pretty short commute. Driving is another thing. Bernal says we have 258 people tuning in. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ariel if you're tuning in for the first time. And let me know where you're watching from. Thank you. B. Griffin says that it's 20 minutes to downtown. It's fairly quick. You barely notice the time go by on the subway. It passes so quickly. Please hit that like button, says Judith. Thank you, Judith, for shouting me out. Lots of paintings here. I love this. Look at this. Beautiful painting. Lady Liberty with, I think, Justice on her arm. Let's see the other ones. Uh-oh. Let me show the other ones away from the museum. So, Rockefeller University. Oh, what are you referring to Rockefeller University? Lots of LGBT flags. Yes, you'll see lots of LGBT flags all around New York City. Planning to see the statue. I'm not sure which statue you're referring to. Let me know. The one looks like Rosa Parks. So interesting. Yeah. Oh, wow. These are the Broadway marquees. It says West Side Story. In the Heights, which is one of my favorite Broadway shows. Highly recommend watching In the Heights if it ever comes to your area. Allegiance, which was starring, or I think made by George Takei. I think he also stars in it. The Color Purple, which was made into a film by Steven Spielberg. Pacific Overtures and Trouble in Mind. Oh, I absolutely love that. Wow, so cool. Let's see on the other side. It says please vote. John, we took the tram to RI to Roosevelt Island last year and had some fantastic pizza. Walked all over, really loved it. The building where FDR Drive runs through is Rockefeller University. Oh, thank you for letting us know. And cool shoes she's wearing, indeed. You sound as though you're wearing a mask. I am wearing a mask. Sherlock Holmes. Your deduction skills are incredible. So Roosevelt Island is a part of the borough of Manhattan. You know, that is a great question. As far as I know, yes, it is part of the borough of Manhattan. It's not the part of the borough of Queens. So it's a part of the borough of Manhattan. It's not its own borough. So yeah, part of the borough of Manhattan. Though, it might be a little bit more complicated than that. There might be some, when it comes to government, there's always different jurisdictions. Not every city is always the same. Certain cities decide to use different models. So if anyone knows the specifics of how Roosevelt Island is administrated within the city, let us know in the comments. So you have to go to Queens to get to the island. By walking, car, or cycling? Yes, you do. By tram, subway, ferry, or swimming? No. Or canoe. You can also use a canoe. Though, if you do use a canoe, please proceed with caution. Might be a little bit difficult to navigate via canoe through the East River. Jadwiga, thank you so much for the stars. I believe the currents are strong near the lighthouse. Oh, yes, they are. So if you're coming by canoe or swimming, please beware. Very strong currents. They look simple, they look easy, but nope, they are not. Thank you, Brandon, for confirming. Roosevelt Island is part of Manhattan. This red sculpture, people keep asking me about this red sure. I truly don't know. Let's try to figure out this mystery. I've been constantly asked about this. Darren, thank you for asking once again. Let's settle it for once and for all. What is this thing? I'm going to keep pointing to the camera until someone can find it on Wikipedia. So someone, please let us know. It has been a mystery to me ever since I started making videos. Uh-oh, guy caught a fish. They're fishing. Okay, Bernal has an answer. Okay, Bernal is writing the answer. Take your time, Bernal. I'll keep pointing the camera over there. We'll figure this out once and for all. One Vanderbilt does not look too tall. And I think Wonder Vanderbilt might have been built just slightly shorter than anticipated. I don't know the full details, but I think that's the case because I was expecting Wonder Vanderbilt to be the tallest building in New York City, but it did not quite reach that height. MDW, you say you would not eat that fish. Me neither, I would not eat that fish. Jose says it's a power plant. It's called Red Sculpture. It's an abandoned roller coaster. Really? It's the new sculpture of a new Statue of Anarchy, says Donald. Indeed. Well, it is a bit kind of crazy looking. Doesn't make any sense to me, so. Swimming in that water. Does anyone do that, Albert? Well, you'll be surprised. There's been a few viral videos that have gone through the internet recently of people swimming in the Hudson for fun. So let me know, are we getting an answer? We've been wondering what this curious roller coaster is sitting along the East River, says Cynthia. Turns out it's an abandoned art installation by Alice Aycock. Itself sitting on top of a abandoned waste transfer station. Thank you. Cynthia and Simply D. Thank you for copying the comment also to YouTube. Is this the Manhattan Bridge? No, that's the Queensboro Bridge, also known as the 59th Street Bridge. And there we go. It's an art installation by Alice Akis or Alice? Alice Alcock. Alice Alcock. There we go, everyone. I think, as Jacqueline says, elementary, my dear Wobson. Yeah, it is a bit elementary. I thought it was something that'd be a little bit more special. But yeah, here we go. The mystery has been solved. Mystery has been solved, everyone. Art installation by Alice Alcock. I'll say it like a few times so I can remember it. But I hope no one ever asks me about it again. Because, I don't know, it's not the most interesting sculpture in my opinion. Let me know what you think about this sculpture. But there we go. It's on top of a waste transfer plant. Alice Alcock. Aycock. Aycock or Alcock. I have people writing two different... Oh, okay. Jackie, you say Aycock. Okay, so Alice Aycock. Cynthia says, I love mysteries. Me too. I'm glad this one's solved, though. I'm very grateful that we have no longer this mystery. Oh, look at these beautiful tables. Sherlock Holmes on YouTube says, the mystery has been solved, but not by Sherlock Holmes. Indeed, Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. I hope you solve another mystery for us moving forward. Info on the website Untapped New York. Yes, my friends at Untapped New York are a great resource for learning all about the tiny little things about New York City. So I love, thank you everyone, Aycock. I think a few people were auto-corrected as they were writing the comment. That's Aycock. David says, wow, that is some name to be made fun of as a child. Yeah, I feel bad for Alice as a kid. I just want to sit on this table because it looks so nice for just a few seconds. Is it? Do you know of Jackson Hole? Yes, Jackson Hole, famous diner. Haven't really been into it. So look at this. This is just perfect. This is perfect urban planning. Having a seat, it's very simple. Table right by the sea. Time to drink a cup of water. So cool. Kristen, you had a picture taken here. Oh, cool. That's awesome. That was awesome. Who were you traveling with? Were you on your own or were you traveling with someone else? And they are amazing at night. Yes, they are. This seems like a great place to hang out at night. Roosevelt Island is a little bit more than meets the eye. You don't just need to go to the tourist attractions, which we're going to go to very soon, about maybe 15 more minutes. You could just sit here in the kind of little plazas, the little walkways. It's a great place to come, even if you come here later in the afternoon. But if you come here in the summer, just beware. You might need bug spray. There usually is a lot of mosquitoes on this area of the water. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. Christian, you were with your wife. Oh, cool. Took a nice photo here together. And what do you think of guided group tours? I don't do guided group tours, though I do private tours. So if anyone wants to book me for a private tour, I can confirm up to 2 weeks in advance. You can go to urbanist.live/tours. I don't do guided group tours, though I can recommend other people if you need one in New York City. I have a few awesome friends and awesome people I've shown before on videos who do great guided tours. One of them is Untapped New York. Check out Untapped New York for great tours. How many water bottles are you carrying? I usually carry 2. Sometimes I have 3 if it's a very hot day. 4K says I prefer one-on-one. Yes, me too. I prefer one-on-one or a small group of family or friends. Can you speak German? No, the only thing I know in German is Guten Tag and Auf Wiedersehen. It's the only thing I know in German. It's hot? No, not today. Huge spiders. Lots of spiders always in bushes. Guten Tag and Danke, yeah. I want to learn more German. I really love the German accent. It's a bit weird. I'm really attracted to women with German accents. If I were to be 100% honest. It's a beautiful accent. One day I'll learn a little bit of German. Go to Beverly's in the LES. Ooh, what is Beverly's all about? Let me know. So here's the subway. This is the F train. I'll show you a little bit inside. F train. It's the deepest, one of the deepest subway stations in all of New York City, more than 100 feet deep, which kind of pales in comparison with many of the stations in London, but it's still very deep in New York City. I think it should be the deepest. I'm not sure if it has been beaten by the 7 train in Hudson Yards. And here is the shuttle passing through here now. Mary Jane speaks fluent German besides Italian. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. What's my favorite New York City food? I have many places I usually recommend on videos. My number 1 restaurant in New York City that I recommend to most people is Cafe Mogador. If you want something that's kind of very romantic, beautiful, gorgeous house. Let's go through here. I mean, gorgeous restaurant, amazing food, mind-blowing food. For pizza, you can go to many places. In Manhattan, one of my favorite pizza shops to go for the slice is Prince Street Pizza. specifically for the square pizza. Joe's Pizza I really love, highly recommend. For hot dogs, go to Papaya King in Yorkville. Yorkville is right above the Upper East Side, right at the area, right around this area. Someone left a $5 super chat. Oh, cool. Edward says, your favorite Dutch guy reporting in. You know my demands. Edward is a fellow Dutch viewer who is demanding New York City to go back to New Amsterdam. Thank you for the super chat. However, Edward, I will tell you straightforward, I can't be bribed. I don't accept bribes. I appreciate your contribution. No. Pin Street Pizza is the best. Yeah, I agree. Is there an elevator to the bridge, Drew? Great question. There used to be. There used to be an elevator to the bridge that would connect to the streetcar that would run right in the middle of the bridge. Remember, these bridges were built in the early 1900s before vehicles really became widely used. Personal passenger cars have been widely used. Hence, the main form of transportation across these bridges were on horse, streetcar, or walking, or the very early forms of bicycles. And hence, there was a streetcar running right in the middle of the Queensboro Bridge. It stopped right in the middle off the Welfare Island stop, because at that time it was called Welfare Island, and you went down, boom, you got off. $304 people tuning in on YouTube. Ooh, we have a lot of people tuning in on YouTube. And here's the old kiosk for that streetcar. So let me show it to you in a little bit better detail. It's currently a gift shop. B. Griffin says, hit that like button for more viewers. Yes, the more viewers I get, the more interesting places I can show you. Cynthia says, Es ist verboten is your favorite saying in German. Oh, cool. So this was a streetcar. Here we have, this was the kiosk for the trolley. And I'll read you what it says on the sign. It says it's a visitor center. And let's read what's on the sign. It says the kiosk at the tram plaza there's passing through, is one of the 5 original kiosks that first identified the entrances to the staircases at the trolley station at 59th Street and 2nd Avenue. These staircases led to the underground trolley car stations that were positioned at the Manhattan entrance to the Queensboro Bridge. The kiosk's entrances date from the bridge's construction in 1909. And it was one of the 5 lines connected to several Queens neighborhoods to Manhattan via the Queensboro Bridge, right over here. Our one trolley was the bridge local. It started at 59th Street and passed over Blackwell's Island. So it wasn't even Welfare Island yet, it was Blackwell's, then became Welfare, and then Roosevelt. Passed over Blackwell's Island where it stopped to discharge and accept passengers from the roof of the storehouse station. The 9-story elevator building was on the exact site where you are now standing. Whoa! There was an elevator building here? That's crazy. Oh, that is crazy. The trolley service ended in 1957 with the opening of the bridge to Welfare Island, so it became Welfare Island. This island has been called, so many different things. The storehouse elevator building was demolished in 1970. Oh, that's a shame. So here it is. Boom. Let's take a closer look. It is the visitor center, so let me show it. is the best visitor center. Jesse says, hello, I just recently subscribed and love your videos. They have a uniqueness and NYC aesthetic. Keep them coming. Will do, Jesse. Thank you so much for tuning in. I saw a New York Transit Museum stream. Oh, I'm cool. I'm glad that they're making live streams. They're really nice people. I've collaborated with them before. On the tram elevator, and there was a giant circular ramp from the bridge to ground level. Whoa. Spiral ramp. Whoa. Well, I eat on this trip. No food is going to be featured in this video. We're ending at the southern tip of Roosevelt Island. Great videos with great personality. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoy it. MDW. Oh, so you can take the bus also to Astoria. This is really cool to know. I'll show you the route. The route is here. So you can take it here, all the way up to, and go deep into Astoria. That's awesome. All right, now we're walking towards the southern tip. Let's pass by Cornell University's campus here in Roosevelt Island. I think it's in combination with Yeshiva University or Tel Aviv University? Tel Aviv University.
Yeah, misunderstand. What?
No food would be eaten in the making of this video, says David. Yeah, indeed. No food in this video. The universe will bring you a German soulmate, says Alexandria. Have a nice walk. Great job on filming and sharing. Good tour of New York City. Have a nice autumn to you and everyone in New York. Thank you so much, Alexandria. I appreciate it. That's a very sweet message. My late maternal grandmother was fluent in 8 languages. Wow, that is plenty, Dwayne. I wonder what's the big tent to your left. It's part of this building, but what is this building? That's a good question. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. What is this building? Great veggie dumplings at 169 Bar. Indeed, Nicole. Great recommendation. That's pretty far away. That's in Lower East Side. New skyscraper alert. What is this one? Ah, gorgeous. New building. Everyone. What is this building? We're learning a lot of new things today. New building. What kind of ruins are we going to see? Just you wait. It will shock you. We're going to get there in about 10 minutes as we make a slight detour through the university. But just say this. It ties into showing you that pandemics are nothing new. Pandemics have existed all throughout human history. It's something that maybe hasn't happened to a large extent the past 100 years. Oh, well, with the AIDS epidemic, so in the past 30 years. But something that humans have gone through for centuries, and it'll tie into that. So stay tuned for that in about 10 minutes. Here we have Cornell Tech, the new campus built on Roosevelt Island, home of the Jacobs Technion Cornell Institute. It's a huge campus. So this might have been the graduate hotel, with the bubble building. That's a slim looking skyscraper. It really is, Dwayne. It really is. New building opens in 2022, that skyscraper we just showed. Is that 601 Lexington building on Manhattan? No, 601 Lexington has a sloped roof, and we might be able to see it right there. Yeah, right there. Right there is 601 Lexington, the building that almost fell and destroyed Midtown Manhattan skyline. But for that video, you have to see my previous video called Hidden History Episode 1. Zolst, how many languages do I speak? English and Espanol, Spanish. But when I speak Spanish, la voz mía se pone más bajo. My voice goes deeper. Hey, we have a new super chat. Ooh, Cynthia. Cynthia, no need to feel guilty at all. No need to feel guilty at all. There's a reason I make these videos for free on the internet. And even if I made $0 from any of these videos, I will continue making videos some way or the other because I just love telling stories. But I do appreciate contributions. And because of the contributions, I can make these videos with a little bit more ease. I can dedicate more time to research, and I can not stress about covering costs like transportation and paying for attractions. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for your contribution. So we have 2 sponsors today, Edward and Cynthia, for this video, and a few star senders like Sue and Susan sent stars as well, and Kay as well. I thought it was 601. Your video on it was well worth a watch. Oh, Rich, yes, I also have that video on YouTube. So search the video, The Building That Nearly Destroyed Manhattan. It's on YouTube, and you'll learn more about 601 Lexington. Bloomberg Center. Beautiful architecture here. Really, this is neo-futuristic, similar to the architecture style that we see in Hudson Yards. And I love how all the buildings have this kind of unique flavor to them. Are Super Chats a Facebook option or YouTube? Jackie, Super Chats are YouTube. Stars are Facebook. PayPal is the best way to support because I end up getting the best cut. But of course, whatever is more convenient to you. Those are the 3 ways. Or you can contribute monthly by being a patron or a supporter. This is better than Brutalist architecture. Yeah, you know, there's a pleasant vibe to it. It does feel a little bit pleasant. It feels more fluid. I'm really liking this. Really liking this. Lots of similar elements to what we see with Hudson Yards. Macaulay says, thanks for your great content. Watched the Top View tour last night. Loved it. You and Action Kid are great. Thank you so much, Macaulay. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad you enjoyed that Top View tour. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Simply D contributes monthly. Yes, you do. Thank you so much for being a contributor. Always remind me of your real name because sometimes when you contribute, it ends up being via your real name. I only see the usernames. Wow, look at this. This is the Tata Innovation Center. Gorgeous, gorgeous building. I love the atmosphere here. Wow. Laureen sent a PayPal. Thank you so much, Laureen. You end up getting another sponsor for this video. Laureen, thank you so much for the PayPal. And Jackie, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Albert, thank you so much for the stars. Lots of support. Amazing. Thank you so much. We continue showing you around. I am in love with this architecture. Let me know what you think. Lori says, wow, cool architecture. Zol says, Russian language. Maybe, yeah. And I love this kind of combination of lawn and chairs. And I love sitting on cool benches. So let's sit on this bench. Let's see. Let's put it to the test. Let's put to the test this bench. How comfy this bench is. I like it. This is a cool bench. It's comfy. Has half of my back supported. Half of it. But it's a good half to have supported. And I think it's because of the views that makes this bench really worth it. Am I a bench snob? Oh, yes, I am. When I encounter a bad bench, I will mention it. I don't like bad benches. Bad benches are the bane of cities' existences. Hey, Bernard, there's actual guy who rates benches. Oh, I gotta meet him whenever I go to England. Let me know his screen name, his username. Amy asks, what's a bench snob? A bench snob is someone who really appreciates the fine art of making a great bench. It's like drinking a good cup of wine at night, except you sit at a good bench during the afternoon. Marvelous. Are there Russian words? Ooh, I'm not sure. I don't think this is Russian. Tata might sound Russian, but I think it's referring to a Native American, as someone said. You have a high benchmark bench. You have a high benchmark, says Donald. Yep, I do. My benchmarks are very high. Looks kind of low. Ugh, my knees. Yeah, it's not quite good on the knees, but the views make up for it. Look at this. I love, this is something you see a lot in offices in tech companies. So if anyone has ever visited a Google office or a Facebook office, I used to work for Foursquare and Gawker Media, and they had a similar design. This is fairly common in office buildings. And I love that they're introducing this to now universities. Really cool design. Almost functions like an auditorium for the city. Look at that. Tata is a Slavic word for father. Ooh, cool. Am I anywhere near the abandoned hospital park? Park, thank you so much for being a supporter. Yes, we're going to the hospital soon. So let us know. I don't know what this is named after, for sure. Tata is a Slavic word. Let me know, what is this building named after? Let's learn something new. Tata Consulting Services, TCS India. Tata is an Indian tech company. Oh, Julio. Okay, so it's like Verizon. So Tata, this Tata is not Slavic word. It's not a Russian word. It means a tech company in India, like like Verizon or like Google. Right there. Thank you. Ratan Tata. Okay, makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I study electrical engineering, which is similar to electrical engineering. Might even be offered in this university as well. Probably is. And a lot of my classmates were Indian, Bangladeshi, and also Pakistani. My nephew calls me Tata. Yeah, Tata is also a term for aunts. Yeah. I give 5 stars to the Highline benches. Me too. Me too. Okay, everyone. We have... Are they having a bake sale down there? Oh, that's so cool. All right, everyone. Now this is my warning for Roosevelt Island. These geese might look cute, but if you see tiny little geese right next to a bigger mother goose, be careful, because if you approach it a little bit too closely, that mother goose will chase you down. Johnny, where's Jersey City? After Manhattan in Jersey, New Jersey. Lost. I don't answer any personal questions, but feel free to ask me Anything about New York City or history? Park, you're welcome. I look forward to your Boston trip. Do you plan on dropping by historic Fenway Park? Yes, I will cover Fenway in a video, definitely. We'll check it out. Oh my goose! This place is bountiful. Oh yes, there's so many goose, so many geese. Here they are. Cynthia, you were chased by a swan. Oh no, Cynthia. And they look at you. They stay alert. They stop whenever you pass by them.
Just barely.
Sometimes they're friendly. Will you be in the city of Boston, or are you just going to? I'll be in the city of Boston. I'll just be doing one city outside of Boston, which is Salem. Stay tuned for Salem and the history of the witch trials. Zolst asked, "What's my sun sign?" That I'll let you know. It's Gemini. Oh my gosh! First time someone read my comment, Tenya. Yeah, of course, Tenya. Are your comments usually not read? Well, I'm glad I could read the comment. Salem's Lot was a scary movie. Oh yes. And there's also The Crucible, which I'm actually going to watch for research. So here we have the Chrysler Building, the United Nations Building. Do you visit a city in Europe? Yes, I visited 5 cities in Europe. I've done London, Helsinki, Madrid, Naples, Rome, and Bucharest. 6 cities in Europe. Thank you, B. Griffin, for letting him know. My European videos are on Facebook. Urbanist Live. It's getting darker, possibly might rain. I hope not. I hope it doesn't rain. I don't have an umbrella. I did Paris as well. Yes, Alvin. I did Paris as well. So 7 cities. 7 cities. We have 303 watching now. We need 14 more to have a 50% of likes and views. Oh, Julio, is there like some type of algorithm for YouTube that favors likes according to viewership? Thank you so much for hitting the like button, Robert. I appreciate it. Lived on Roosevelt Island for 10 years, left in 1992. Thank you for letting me see all the amazing changes. Why don't you have an umbrella? Rain wasn't in the forecast when I checked out the weather earlier today. But you know, sometimes the forecast cannot be trusted. Another beautiful painting. Seems like there's like a certain festival happening with all these paintings. I have 80 people tuning in on Facebook. Yes. Thank you for letting me know, Rocky. Your videos of Paris you loved Simply D. Sorry, I keep stumbling on your name. Simply D. I'm glad you loved my Paris videos. The shuttle goes all the way down to here, and now get ready for the ruins of Roosevelt Island. Sinead, you bought one of my face masks for my merch store. Oh, cool. I'm so glad you enjoy it. It's very cute. He'll get an umbrella when it hits the UK. Says Richard. Oh yeah, Richard. I was armed with an umbrella every time I went to the UK. I also did Bristol, so I did 8 cities. And I did Glastonbury, so I did 9 cities in Europe. I've done a lot of cities in Europe. Simply, no, I don't think it's for a protest. All the imagery seems pretty normal to me. Some trees are changing color. Oh, yes, they are. More paintings over here. Let's zoom in on them. Have I visited Asia? No, not yet. I really want to go. Well, I go to Tokyo. I want to go to Singapore. I hope things get better in Hong Kong because I would love to show Hong Kong. Hong Kong is basically the Manhattan of Asia. Alex, can I suggest Marblehead between Beantown and Salem, 16 miles. Oh, thank you for the suggestion. Marblehead has many historic homes from the 1600s. Ooh, interesting. Come to Singapore, says Twinkle. I almost got run over the London crossing. Oh no, Raúl, I hope you're okay. Ana, desde Argentina, hermoso lugar. Gracias por compartiendo. Gracias por mirando, por viendo el video. Lo agradezco. Y ojalá todo está bien en Argentina. Hope all is well in Argentina. Daisy, thank you so much for the stars. Times Square is free. Yes, it is. Julio. I love the rock block wall that is also a bench. Yeah, some of the... Me too. It's a good functioning bench. So wait, what is this? Tenya, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Have fun playing Minecraft. Zolst, you're also a Gemini. Have you guys ever been to the UK? I have, Brendan. Yeah, on Urbanist. Yeah, I've been on the UK. I've done London, Bristol, and Glastonbury. All right. These are the Renwick ruins, also known as the former smallpox hospital. These ruins are very mysterious because if you pass through the FDR at night, you'll notice that they are lit up, hence causing a lot of mystery and rumorings about what this is. This is probably one of the only creepy ruins that you will see in New York. There's very few. There's a few places that are a little bit harder to get to because there are islands that are inaccessible currently. But this one is easily accessible here in the middle of Roosevelt Island. But what is the Renwick ruins? Well, the Renwick ruins are named after James Renwick, and he was the grand architect for many amazing buildings all around New York City that were in the Gothic style. But this was built in order to treat the sick patients who were afflicted with smallpox, which was a terrible disease that ravaged humanity for more than 1,000 years. However, with smallpox, they still didn't have the vaccine. It took many, many decades for a vaccine to be developed, and hence many people who were afflicted with smallpox ended up passing away. Had a much higher mortality rate than we even encounter today, thank God, with our current pandemic. Hence, the bodies were piling up inside this hospital. It couldn't carry them all. It was running out of capacity. Over 13,000 people died here in the smallpox hospital. Dying, afflicted with terrible rashes, coughing, pneumonia. A very, very terrible disease. So let me read you what it says over here. It says the smallpox hospital is a Gothic revival structure designed by American architect James Renwick Jr., which opened to the public in 1856. It was the first hospital in the country to be dedicated to treating smallpox, which was highly contagious as well, and a very deadly viral disease. James Renwick is very famous for the Grace Church, which I visited before. It's also haunted. St. Patrick's Cathedral, not haunted, but beautiful cathedral. and also the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., which you might see very soon on Urbanist. However, the importance of this structure is that it's listed as one of the National Historic Register of Places, and the original footprint of the smallpox hospital was a rectangular central bay, which measured roughly 100 feet by 40 feet and was 3 stories in height. In 1875, the hospital was renamed Riverside Hospital, and in 1886, the building was converted into a nursing school called the Home for the Nurses of the Maternity and Charity Hospital Training School. The northern and southern wings were completed in the early 1900s in order to provide additional space for classrooms. In the 1950s, the nursing school was closed and abandoned. However, if you come here late, if you come here late at night, you might see some strange figures, some strange apparitions. Many people have reported this to be one of the most haunted places in New York City. Moans and screams are heard inside the hospital late at night. And also there was a very interesting YouTube video, if you search it, of a few urban explorers, and they came here during a rainy day, and while the city was engulfed in rain, lightning struck just in this hospital during that video. Very terrifying.
You should have told us to put our hands up.
I was here at dusk once. Oh, you're a brave soul, B. Griffin. I'm sure bad things happen here. Well, smallpox is a terrible disease. Have I been to Fort Tilden? No, not yet. God bless New York City. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me know how to pronounce your name. Cool breeze, great shirts, and great videos. Keep up your great work. A great place to go during Halloween. Yes, it is. I did a full video history on this and talk about the history of diseases. Search it up on Facebook. Ariel, I believe that Typhoid Mary is connected to Roosevelt Island. She was connected to another island. I think it was called North Brother Island, if I recall correctly. That's where Typhoid Mary is from, or was quarantined. There's also been many other quarantine areas in New York City. Staten Island, around the area of the ferry stop, Georgetown. It's called Jamestown or Georgetown. Used to be a quarantine zone. Smallpox, now we have COVID-19. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Fascinating, says Rosalind. Yeah, it is. Do a haunted history trail sometimes. I have a few haunted history videos. You can find one on YouTube. It's the haunted history of Greenwich Village. But you'll see more haunted videos this upcoming October. Jacqueline calls her asymptomatic Mary. Yeah, she was asymptomatic. I think she did actually suffer from typhoid. This is Franklin D. Roosevelt Four Freedoms Park. Now, this park was supposed to be built decades ago by another famous architect from America. His name is Louis Kahn. Louis Kahn is famous for gorgeous libraries and monumental architecture. So his architecture is reminiscent of what you would see in these big ancient Greek monuments. It's supposed to kind of like make you feel small, make you feel like you're amongst a much larger landscape, as we're going to see as we go above. However, Louis Kahn passed away from a heart attack while he was going to the bathroom in Penn Station. The plans never went through. He died a bit too early. I think he was in his early 60s. Very talented guy. He probably had many more buildings in him. And the construction was put on pause. Only until about maybe, 10, 15 years ago, they started finishing the construction of Fort Friedrichs Park. And now they have this special kind of display of sunflowers. And something reads here. Let's see what this reads. I think you have to be perfectly aligned. Let's see if we can. Oh, yeah. It says the right of citizens. Uh-oh. That was a little bit tough. There was supposed to be more to this monument. No, B. Griffin, they basically built out his original plan. They fulfilled his original plan. So here it says, this is the text of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution. The right of citizens to the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Now, of course, they're talking about biological sex, so whether you're born male, female, intersex, etc. Still one of the great places in the world. New York City has quite a good number of islands around the 5 boroughs. It does, Alex, like a large number of islands. I've also shown Hart Island, which is also haunted. Check out my City Island broadcast from like 3 months ago. Will the facade be preserved? So yeah, the staircase is going to remain. This is just sticker, which is up here until September 30th. There's sunflower stairs, yeah. Is my monument? Yes, Franklin. This is the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Monument. Do I like FDR? Oh, Zolst. Yeah, Zolst. That's okay. Question. Since it's history. Yeah. FDR was a very fascinating person. I think he definitely did his best, I think. Voting rights for women. Yep. Yeah, that has been the case for about 100 years now. I think exactly 100 years. I think the anniversary has come up. 100 years, yeah. So if you've been, there's a monument in Greece, which someone might know the name of, that looks very similar to this. An ancient Greek monument. I think it's in Marathon, though it might be somewhere else. Eleanor Roosevelt was also very admirable. Yes, and I remember reading that the island was not named after just Franklin, but was named after Eleanor as well. Though I don't have 100% confirmation on that. Though this monument is just for Franklin. JFK, oh, another interesting man, also Lincoln. Yep, both interesting figures of history. Wow, this park is lovely. Yes, indeed. New generations would say the same thing about Elmhurst Hospital 100 years from now. Yeah, maybe, Alex, yeah. Good point. Is it accessible to the public? B. Griffin, yes, this is accessible to the public, but you might be referring to something else. Stay on the grass, it better for real. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful area. I'm so sad I missed it last time. No worries. I watched a vid about Belmont. It was interesting. Was it FDR that had a special train that stopped underneath the Plaza Hotel? Yes, that's him. There's still my friends at Untapped New York, who run a New York blog and do great articles, journalism about New York City history. They found out that might be partly myth, though I'm not 100% sure, but that is the legend, that there is a train that does land underneath the plaza, and it was his private train from Grand Central Terminal. So here's the bust of Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
I actually wanted to buy one of those. How much do those cost? Like,
This is a $199.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could like do all forms of angles, right?
It can, yeah, all around.
Wow.
There we go. We have Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was the president, American president during World War II. And we have, seems like to be a tour group. Waldorf Astoria. Oh, thank you for clarifying. Yeah, Waldorf Astoria. It's Waldorf Astoria was connected to Grand Central Terminal via train. So here is a speech read and written by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who's known for his great speeches as well, during a time when there was also a lot of other great speakers like Winston Churchill. This says, in the future days which we seek to make secure, we look forward to a world founded upon 4 essential human freedoms. The first is the freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. The second is the freedom of every person to worship God in his own way everywhere in the world. The third freedom is the freedom from want everywhere in the world. The fourth freedom is the freedom from fear anywhere around the world. That is no vision of a distant millennium. It is a definite basis for a kind of world attainable in our time and generation. Great words. Love it. Freedom from want is a very succinct way of talking about an essential freedom that I think we still haven't given to people around the world, despite our massive abundance in food, land, and plenty of other resources. There's still people who are in want. Oh, and they used to let you go down here, but now they closed it down. I guess people were jumping into the water and taking a swim. So here, I'm very glad that FDR included around the world. I might have said around the world. Thank you. I couldn't remember which hotel it was. Amazing message. I agree. Fantastic American president, indeed. Americans seem so established to compare to us in the NZ. So much history. Yeah, there is a lot of history here in America. There's a lot of history peeping as well. So here's one of the bird sanctuaries. And right over there we see a Coast Guard, or I think this might be NYPD. Can't quite tell from this distance. But beyond the NYPD ship is Uthant Island, which is a bird sanctuary and also a dedication to the former Secretary General of the United Nations, who was from, I think he was from Malaysia, if I recall correctly. And this was originally called Belmont Island, where it was fully landfill. It's not a real island. It's not a natural island. It was made from the landfill from the Belmont tunnels that ran underneath the East River connecting Manhattan to Queens, one of the very first tunnels to do so. 4 men died while excavating those tunnels. And we still have that island to this day, which is now currently illegal to visit. And I think this one's called Rat Island, if I recall correctly. Alex says, I know Ariel, no politics, but FDR was the total opposite of the present person in the White House. Well, that's for another conversation. The TH in Uthant is a tea. Utant. Utant. Thank you. Robert, thank you so much for the RS. Let me know what RS is. RS dollars, 10.90. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, Robert. Let me show that here. You can see the currents. Yeah, you can. Within sight of the UN building where the United Nations drew up human rights treaties inspired by FDR's words. Yes. It's Brazilian money. Realist. Thank you so much for letting me know, Julio. Where's the UN buildings? This one right here. So let me show you this cool view because Louis Kahn was such a great architect. Such a shame that he died of a heart attack in the Penn Station bathroom. What a terrible place to die also. Penn Station of all places. It frames the city, as someone mentioned earlier. I can't believe people are using their phones instead of looking at the great views. It tends to happen a lot, B. Griffin. Should get 5. PayPal in my other username. Thank you so much, Sandra. I appreciate the PayPal. Big props to you. Thank you for contributing. We got another PayPal. We got Laureen and Sandra PayPal'd. Jackie, were you talking about FDR's Track 61 erected under Waldorf Astoria? Yeah. Yep. There's a very interesting article about new developments by my friends Untapped New York. Check them out. 1882 to 1945. And across the water, we get to see another landmark. Where's the Martin Luther King Memorial? I don't know. I've never seen it. If anyone knows where it is, someone mentioned it earlier, but they couldn't find the exact whereabouts. Lori says, thank you for taking us here. If you could tour us Central Park. Christian, I have a bunch of videos on Central Park. I have like 3 of them. The John Lennon video and 2 parts to exploring Central Park. Check them out. And then I did a video last week of Central Park. I've done a lot of Central Park. Check them out. Check out the previous videos. You'll be seeing other places soon. FDR had polio. Yeah, apparently he did. That is also a bit unconfirmed because he might have been afflicted with a similar illness because he got it suddenly in later age. Polio usually affected young kids. This is the area where Amazon was supposed to have its headquarters. That didn't come for fruition. There we have Long Island City Stop, the Pepsi-Cola sign from 1940. FDR was very focused in hiding his disability from the public. Yes, he was. And here we have Long Island City. And here we have the Williamsburg Bridge. And there's the Hunters Point South ferry stop. So a lot of cool stuff to see all around here in New York City. The John Lennon video was awesome. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Love that Pepsi sign. Me too. I love that Pepsi sign as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Amazon was supposed to move into the Citicorp Tower. Oh, was it supposed to also take the Citicorp Tower right over here? Interesting. This was the very first skyscraper in Queens, right here. Right here. Luckily, this is not pointy, so it's not pinching my finger. This isn't a political question. Do you like politics? Just in general, no. Just in general, I do not. In my personal life, of course, I have my own political ideas, but I don't like politics in my own personal life. But when it comes into the context of history, it does make history a little bit more interesting. That I would say. So it's hard to talk about certain historical events without mentioning politics. Politics of that time, not current politics. So one more time. Pointing at the Empire State Building is a bit tough. God damn it. Always happens. The UN building was donated by John D. Rockefeller. Yeah, the Rockefellers gave more than 50% of their wealth to public works, to churches, to a whole host of things. Just Kate says, ouch. Mari says, what happened? Well, it's that damn Empire State Building. So sharp. Every time I point to it, so damn sharp. Here's Sutton Place. And everything. So stay tuned every Wednesday 30th to Monday 5th, I will be going live from Boston. If you did not see the announcement yesterday, live from Boston every single day from Wednesday 30th to Monday 5th, 1 p.m. every single day, plus other bonus videos they'll pop in throughout the day. So stay tuned for that. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. And I want to just kind of let everyone know one more additional thing is because I'm doing a whole lot of research for history, I might not be able to respond to comments after these videos. So I'm taking a little bit of break from social media so I can focus on studying history of doing my other work outside of Urbanist. So if I don't really comment too much after these videos, don't worry. On the live video, I will answer your questions. I'm here for all of you. And I just wanted to announce that because I know a lot of people sometimes ask questions afterwards, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep track because there's so many. So thank you everyone for tuning in and for watching these videos, and stay tuned for Boston next week every single day at 1 p.m. and plus other bonus videos like an Amtrak ride, and we'll maybe see a ferry ride of some sort. Everyone, this is Roosevelt Island, Four Freedoms Park. Beautiful area to visit. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye. Richard says I earned a beer. Oh, thank you so much, Richard. Have a good day.